Welcome CSC 102 class. Welcome to WD06 research paper. We'll be reviewing how to basically format and create a research paper, not necessarily how to write it, but I am going to review the tools to make the whole process a lot less painful. I'm not going to expect you to write a paper. I'm going to give you a paper that's not formatted, and you're going to format it and put in some citations and create a bibliography or works cited section. And you're going to turn it in, and it shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't take that long to do it. It's just a couple pages. Here's a sample that I'm looking at right now, and I just put in a sample name, Jack Smith. I put myself as the professor, and this is a section from the summer, so it has information from the summer, but you'll put in updated information. You'll put your name and your instructor and your section and the date that you're working on it and your last name over here. Everything else on down will probably be about the same for everyone in the class, but you will use the tools yourself and you will create it yourself. So just looking at the sample here, a couple basic things just to be aware of. This is for MLA, Modern Language Association, I believe. It's not for APA, it's not for Chicago. If you have a science class or a psychology or education or nursing, you may be using APA. This is for MLA, and it's very similar. There's not a lot of differences, but we'll be using MLA, and this is MLA 7th edition, which we have on Word, which there is a new version, MLA 8th edition, which you'll have to check with the library for some updates to that, but the Word version only has MLA 7 in here right now, and for what we're doing, the basics, it should be fine to get the feel of how to use this. So this paper that we're looking at, you're going to get basically you're going to complete basically a 4-page paper, and the way this works, there's going to be a title page. I wouldn't call it a title page, but your first page has the title information and a center title. You could or could not have the page number showing on the first page. You could remove that if you like, which I may ask you to remove that, or your instructor may ask you to remove that. Your formatting is basically going to be all double-spaced throughout, and it's going to have a page number and your name on every page as you go throughout. And you'll also see that you'll have these in-text citations, which are basically, for some of these, we'll just have the name of the author or the organization in parentheses right before the end of a quote or the end of basically a statement that's not really yours or not really your thought. And moving down, when you get to the end of the paper, there'll be a page break. You could see the formatting mark here actually shows a page break. And starting on the final page is actually the works cited section. So here's the works cited section. You can see when I highlight over here, it's actually showing up in gray because Word has a way that that it's formatted so that it updates, so that it's not just regular text. It's actually kind of a self-contained area that can update if you would ever change your, the sources that go in here, so you wouldn't have to keep, recreating it again or retype anything. But everything's very vanilla in MLA. It's all Times New Roman 12 point. It's all double spaced. Let me go back to the beginning up here. You could see everything's double spaced. And how do I know it's double spaced? I could highlight on here and I could see that it's Times New Roman 12 point to see that it's double spaced. Now I'm in the Mac version right now. And I don't have a little button for paragraph settings on the Mac version. So if anybody uses the Mac version, you don't have that little button. You could always go to Format Paragraph, and it opens up this section, which is just like the settings in the Windows version. Or if you go to the line spacing options, here's where it's showing that it is 2.0. That's double spacing. And if you would go to line spacing options, it does open this up. But all that we have to know right now is that it's double spaced. So everything's double spaced, everything's Times New Roman. There's 1-inch margins all around, except for this little area in the header. Notice there's a header in here. I'll double click in here. And if you go in the header, it does keep the 1-inch margin on the right side, but there's only 1/2 inch on the top. So, even though you have a 1-inch margin all around, the header is a little bit different. There's only a 1/2 inch in here. And this is where you're going to put your last name and you're going to insert a page number so that it changes on every page. You're not just going to type the number 1. And then I'll close this up, or sometimes you could double click outside of there to get outside of the header and footer. But that's really it for the formatting of this. So again, little title area, centered, and then you're going to have a first line indent on every paragraph, which I could see my little arrows up here. You can see that's a first line indent. I can move that around. And sometimes people hit a tab, but I recommend the first line indent. So that's all you're going to have for this. Now, what you're going to start with, let me just show you. You're going to get a file like this, with last name F that you're going to, download and save with your last name. And it's not going to be in the right font, and it's not going to have the right margins or anything like that. You're going to have to format it. So, you're going to have to make this Times New Roman 12-point, double spaced, and make sure the margins are okay, and you're going to have to put in a header with the page number, and you're going to have to do the title and everything, and the first line indents and all that. And then you're also going to have to do the in-text citations. And in the file that I give you, I put them in blue with brackets. Now, you're not going to keep it in blue and you're not going to keep it with brackets, but that's just so you could find it, so you know where to put these. So you could just put them here, but then you're going to have to put things back in regular black color and they won't have any brackets or anything. So you just have basically 3 sources that you're going to use. And what we're going to do for our 3 sources, and I recommend doing this, we're just going to do a search. And again, I'm still on the Mac side here. We're going to do a search for Camtasia reviews, because that's what the paper's about. And we'll find 3 reviews. You'll probably find them on the very first page of your search. One is by Editing Insider. It's a website, Editing Insider. And then Mary Mitchell is actually the author. And the reason we'll do that, so that when you go to this page, you could go here and you could see that the web page is going to be called Editing Insider. The website is going to be, I should say the website is going to be called Editing Insider. The web page is going to be called Camtasia Studio Review. That's going to be the title. Here we have an author, Mary Mitchell, and we have a date, September 21st, 2015. That's the date that it was published. You would also have a date where you accessed it, which would be today, whatever today is for you. And that's all you would really need. You would put that information when you create a source. So I'm going to go back. That's one of them. The other one is, we're going to use one, Camtasia Studio Download.com. And that's another one. Now, that won't actually show an author, so we're just going to actually have to use a corporate author, which is going to be download.com or whatever it shows on the web page. And then a third source that we're going to use is this DIYVideoEditor.com. And, again, here's the title. But one thing that's odd about this one is it shows the author in the little snippet here for your search. But when you click on here and actually go and look at the article, once it comes up here, and you can see the web page is the DIY Video Editor, or the website is the DIY Video Editor. The web page is TechSmith Camtasia Studio Review. And then as you go down, you don't see his name anywhere, even at the very bottom. You see copyright. You don't see his name anywhere. So we could possibly put his name in, or if not, if you didn't remember that you saw his name there in the search, you don't have to. But so we're just going to use three sources. We're going to create them in Word using Word Tools, and we're going to use this References tab. Now this is in the Mac version. We'll do it on the Windows version, but it's very similar. Some differences between the Mac and Windows version, and then that's about it, and it won't take that long. Now when I go through and actually do this, and let me go back to my original, or the sample I should say, when we do this, you're going to be creating a list of sources, and then you're going to be inserting them into your document. So you'll be doing that. Let me show you one more thing here. I'm going to also supply you with this. It just has a couple notes on it. This is a PDF, because I'm not going to give you the actual Word sample. Because guess why? Because then you could just take it and put your name on it and turn it in. You wouldn't have to do anything. So I'm going to give you the PDF version that has some notes on it, so you just see some of this stuff about the first line indent, the center title, the margins. On this one I have no page number, so we could either omit the page number or we could leave it there. It's very easy to do. It's like one button click to do it. These are the in-text citation of the original source, and I didn't put all the pages on this sample, but I just put the last page on here for the works cited, and here it says last name and page number. Here's the hanging indent, and then it just has a couple notes here about Times New Roman. So this is kind of your note sheet, so you'll have that as well. And keep in mind there's also lots of resources. If you go to, one of the easiest ones is if you go to our college website and you click on library, you'll see that they have MLA citation format here. They also have APA, but if you go here, they actually have a guide. And there is a new version coming out, like I said, that's just came out, that I was just told by the librarian, 8th edition, where there's some changes that you might want to check out with both your instructor and the librarian. Again, whoever you're doing a paper for is going to be who you defer to as far as making some of these decisions. But I'm just going to show you the tools on how to do this. So there is an MLA guide that the school provides, and if you ever go to the library, they would love to help you with any of this stuff. They live for this kind of stuff. So I'm just going to show you the tools. So on the next video, I'm going to get started and actually just go through actually formatting it on Windows. So that'll be part 2 of this video.